Hi friends, I'm Leigh from Agápē Studios. Welcome to Behind the Scenes as I take you in to show you what I got going on today in the studio. Some new projects as I'm also continuously working on my Seven Seals of Revelation number 4. But sometimes when I get an idea in my head that I get excited about it, I just have to just do it. So that's what my new piece of Fifth Element, how that happened. So I'll zoom in there to show you what's going on with that piece. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit in my experience as I apply, um, knowledge that and into my life and just practice different techniques on how to manifest. So I want to talk about that, creating your experience and your communication with your higher self, the ego, and how it actually helps, how it does create your experience, and what do I mean by that, and how can you use or co-create with your ego, as opposed to wanting to kill your ego, or there's a lot of talk about ego death, and that is true from a point of view, but it's not what you think, or it wasn't what I thought, I should say. Um, as you know, when I thought of ego death, I thought, okay, your ego isn't present, but that's not. I find that's not true at all for me. I find that um, there's light and dark. There's a hero and a villain in every story, and that's how I kind of see this experience. Is this is my higher self's story, or this is spirits. I'm part of, and we're each part of a story that's playing out in this physical reality, and a dream of your higher self that you're playing out in a denser form in a physical reality or a third dimension, and your higher self is um, dreaming this experience. And that's what I find anyway. So I'm going to go into all of that and kind of how I have the my just my experience, and just how it has been working for me, and how if you find inspiration in these words, to think differently about your experience, maybe shed a different perspective on your experience, and just take it. If it resonates with you, give it a shot. You never know unless you try. If I'm full of shit, that's, if you feel that way, that's cool, but you never know unless you try. And that's what I've been doing, and it's been yielding beautiful results. And now I'm harvesting the fruits of my labor. So without further ado, I'm going to take you into what I got going on here quickly, before I talk about how in all of this, it's just creating a really cool new world for me that I never thought was possible. So I have this piece, the Fifth Element, really cool. So of course we got, and I'm still working on this piece. This is water, earth, air, fire, and of course you. I got the 7 chakras in here. So I've been working on my burn techniques, just trying different things. This piece has turned out to be an experimental piece for me. It was really cool, the Eye of Horus. And just my resin techniques. And it's turned out really cool, I think. So this is a really cool representation. I think I'm going to keep this piece, as I know what I'll do different on the next one. But I found this really awesome. I made this frame yesterday, and I had this board that I cut up that I made it, and it has the pine beetle grooves all still in it. So I just thought it was a really cool representation of nature, and how it it's a cool, and of course I do my flame finish frame, which I incorporate the element of fire into the finish of my products, of course, with my burn techniques, which I think is really cool. And so I'm just going to show you the pine beetle grooves in this. It's really cool, and some of them go right through. Really neat. So that's going to look pretty sweet on this. So I have to do another coat of varathane on this, and then I'm going to frame it, and then I'm wait till you see what I'm going to do with this after. I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to wait and tune in to see what I got going on. And next, I was inspired by a young lady that's been coming here, hanging out with us, me and Cassidy. Her name is Steph. And her first piece was my original piece that I started the Agápē Studios with, my own mandala. And so she recreated this, and then we took it to the next level, as I'll show you here. We got some more stuff that we're going to do on this piece yet, but this was kind of an idea. So she did some burn techniques and then resin. So I mean, she got a really cool first piece going on here with experience on the scroll saw that she learned how to cut this out with, and also playing with fire in a safe, productive way, and resin. So I mean, that was really cool first piece for her, and I'm excited to finish that up with her when she comes next. And so that inspired me to just do my own piece and just kind of keep on going with it and see what happens. And I'm just going to show you this, and I'm going to tell you where you can get these pieces too, aside from myself. But this one's really cool. So I just experimenting, putting the colors of the chakras in the teardrops there, practicing burn techniques in my resin, of course. So what I'm making this for. And a shout out to Prana Yoga Studio, the #1 yoga studio in Edmonton, where Angela actually teaches at, and many other beautiful, wonderful souls and teachers there. It's such a beautiful place to practice. Anyway, they have challenges throughout the year, and right now they have their Sunrise Yoga Challenge, and anybody that signs up for a challenge at Prana Yoga Studios gets, I always make a piece and donate it to them for their participants. And so I've sent some really cool, last piece was really cool that I donated, the Flower of Light and Dark. You can check that out on my page. But this one I'm going to be making more of, and this one will be going to one of the participants in that challenge. So if you want a cool piece or a chance, go sign up and experience something new. Beautiful atmosphere. And they do have lots of classes for beginners, which Angela teaches as well. So if you want to try a new experience, I highly recommend it. And of course, it's not for everybody, but it helps move a lot of energy through your body. So the next thing I got going on, and we are offering Angela, she has her bath and body line, the Tranquil Turtle, and you can find all this stuff at www.agapeholisticyogawellness.ca. I'll leave a link in the description. You can find, so I have Gavin, Angela's son, building these beautiful boxes, and I mentioned it before. I'm just going to bring you in here and see what we got going on here. And so Mother's Day is coming up, so we're building these boxes. I got some stuffing to put in here, but I'm just going to run through the products quick. She made these beautiful candles. These ones, the Well-Being line. It's a wood wick. The crackle of it is just beautiful. Organic natural soy candle, and they burn absolutely phenomenal. And then we have her luxurious bubble bath bombs. These things are fantastic. Everything is organic. And then she made this oil balance, which is just absolutely wonderful. When I use it, it just makes the skin, it's body oil, makes the skin feel so beautiful and moisturized and just soft. And the smell is exceptionally calming. It's just so beautiful. Next, we have the Unwind. This is her um, organic bath salts soak, and it comes with a little bag in there that you can put it in so that the rose petals or whatever the flower essences and stuff in there will won't float around in your water. Comes with a cool little bamboo scoop, and the packaging is just beautiful. She did such a good job on the labels. It also comes with this little sage bundle that Angela put together. She made these herself, and of course a Palo Santo selenite and lavender bundles that she put together. These are really cute. Smells just absolutely amazing. And we also throw in a amethyst crystal in with these as well. So if you're interested in getting a beautiful gift for Mother's Day, these are just absolutely beautiful. Reach out to us if you're interested, and we'll hook you up. And what else is that? So yeah, that's what we got going on here. A couple other things to mention before I kind of get into a little bit more is I also offer tarot card readings for anybody that's looking for higher guidance from your higher self or your spirit guides, just to move you to the next level of your experience, to give you the tools that you need to create, your experience in a more meaningful way. And I found great results in the beautiful souls that I've been working with that have been reaching out to me. The experience has just been so wonderful, and I'm so grateful to be able to step aside and um, allow those messages just to be uh, brought to them. And it's just been so beautiful to watch people go through transformational moments and be a part of it. And what a blessing that is. So you can book an appointment with me on the website as well. Um, check us out. There's lots more there. Lots of services that we offer, which also make great Mother's Day gifts or any gift of any kind for anybody. So yeah, I just want to kind of go into my experience in manifestation and creation. Creating your experience, and how I use the tools that I've been kind of learning about to actually do that. And I found it interesting to learn that the ego actually is it was never meant to endure the pain and suffering or survival mode. It's actually there. It creates our experience in the physical world uh, from our belief systems. So that's what I found for me anyway. And so really, when I find, if I was having a rough time, I had to examine my belief systems and understand that it was me that was creating my experience via my emotions, my attachments to emotional stuff and anxieties about the future. So what I started doing now, I started to write, and I encourage you to do this. Just give it a shot, try it, just to see what happens. I'd like to hear about it. Write down or think about what I made some notes here because I get rambly. What you feel would be your optimal experience or your optimal outcome. Then, the place, think about that place where your heart and mind can finally rest, no longer at war with one another. A place where your lungs can feel free to breathe, right? And so be specific in this meditation. And I encourage you to also, when you're doing this, to be in a calm place, undistracted, in a comfortable position, and just closing your eyes down and breathing, noticing the quality of your breath. Notice any tense muscles or your face or brow. Loosen those muscles. Be aware of it. Do a body scan, and then just watch the quality of your breath and just breathe when you're doing this. And then when you're thinking and meditating and with your mind's eye, those optimal things that you feel would bring you the greatest satisfaction and the greatest joy and the greatest peace. When you feel like you're in the experience and that your body feels like you're already experiencing those things, that they're true for you. And when I say be specific, if you're looking for a different career, different job, be specific on what you want. If you're looking to move, be specific on what you want, and that gives your do this for 15 minutes, no longer. That's all you need. And then the trick is to let it go and surrender. And that doesn't mean that's not a bad thing. Surrender is not a bad thing. You're not, but what this does is it gives your higher self a template. This is the communication now to your higher self. You're opening up that echo back and forth to your higher self with that template or blueprint. Now that your higher self has that blueprint, is where trust comes in. Now that you've given that blueprint, to surrender to the process and let go of the need to control or have to know what the outcome will be, because you're let go of expectations. Your higher self can see a 360 view of your experience, because we are just an extension of spirit. We are an extension of our higher selves in a lower dimension. So when I say surrender control, it's don't have I try not to have an expectation of what the outcome may be or how long it will take. And when I do that, it enables me to keep my mind in the present moment, not being anxious of when's it going to show up. Like I'm doing everything that I need to. You're worrying and worrying and worrying, and the more I found that I worried about when it was going to show up, or like it's nothing's happening, I actually found that it created more of nothing happening. When I was worried, it always brought in what I worried about, and that became my reality. And it felt delayed and stunted. But then I realized, okay, this is I got to think of my thought process here. And because you can manifest either way, you manifest what you feel. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And so it's like trusting that when you gave that template, that your higher self will start sending you what you want. Now you echoed to your higher self. Your higher self is going to echo back and send an open window of opportunity. And that's what happened to me. I was in a desperate moment. I lost I just decided to give up everything that I knew in carpentry, construction, 26 years. And it was just one day I'm like, I just need to do something. And overnight I became an artist, and I never quit since. And so that's just, I didn't know that was going to happen, but I wasn't worried about, the less and less I went in and found how, healing and quieting my mind because I found that my mind would dwell on those worries, and nothing would continue to happen. And when I started to quiet my mind and found that balance, and um, that it's no longer chattering at me of that worry, then something happened and came into my life, and then I acted upon it. But the less I worried my mind about it, the more and more and more it came in, and then the more and more and I acted upon what was showing up that I was passionate about. um, I understood then that it was my higher self sending me um, everything that I didn't expect. This is something that turned out to be something greater than I ever thought would be possible for me, and I'm so excited and passionate about it, and I love sharing it with everybody else. And so um, I trusted. I started to begin to trust that that template that I gave to my higher self would be a blueprint for the structure of my reality. And so that takes me to the ego. Now, the ego is something that is built into your human body, and it is a part of you. It is not something that we should wish to go away. It's more like, okay, how do we co create with you? Because, in my opinion, my ego is always going to be there. It's how I choose to use it. It's like a double edged sword for me, and it's a tool. My ego is a tool to be used in creation. And when I was in a dense emotional state that felt heavy and suffering and pain, and I found that my ego kept me in that density. And so when I learned to heal within myself and realized that the ego is always going to be there, it was like a scared child within myself. And then I started to learn about ego death, right? And now this is a completely different meaning for me now. It's more of for me, it was the pretentious narcissistic traits that I didn't even know that existed in myself until I seen myself from somebody else's perspective. And so, when I let the lower aspects of my thought process kind of fade away and learned about duality, and what we're here to experience on this earthly plane is duality, and bringing into balance and recognizing that both light and dark energies are within us. We are the hero and we are the villain. Without the villain, there would be no need for a hero to rise, and that's what I feel we're on, as a hero's journey. And the ego is what creates your experience based on your belief systems. So um, I'm just gonna, yeah. So ego isn't a bad thing. It's, for me, it's a tool. And so what it does is it's a communication between my higher self and my physical self to really, it takes that higher dimensional frequency and it zeroes um, into my ego, and then it creates my physical reality. And so if I believe that, if whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. And when I found that I healed those that duality of light and dark within myself, and understand that life happened for me and not to me, it was easier to let it all go and trust. You know, trust that my higher self will bring to me exactly what I need. And yeah, so the ego, I found, was like a scared little child, and it doesn't want to die. So, and I recognize that it is part of me. So it's like, okay, let's just let you rest. I am so grateful, ego, for showing me the darkness within myself, uh, to find that light in the darkness, to want to become a better version of myself. And the ego, I felt, is coming along the ride. So I'm like, thank you so much for showing me exactly what I don't want in my experience. Um, I tell my higher self that you are a viable option because, or not my ego self, which likes to reside in fear frequency and keep you there, wants to trick you. But when I told my ego self that, it's time to rest. You're not going to go away. You're a viable option if I choose to have a little fear in my experience. You're there as a viable option, but I can also choose uh, not to use you in that way. So you can rest now. Thank you. And then in that, when you view your lower aspect or your ego self in that gratitude, in that love, you're now embracing that scared child, and telling it that it's okay. You're not going away. You're coming with me, and it's time to rest and heal. You're there as an option, if I so choose to experience it. And in that way, it transmutes and alchemizes that energy within yourself, and that duality and that war between the mind and the heart goes away. uh, and you can start to, your energy is no longer focused on the survival mode, on the fears, on the worries and the doubts that you create, um, for yourself. And so when we can find that balance, I found within myself, then I was able to communicate clearly and hear my higher self. And uh, my mind wasn't so occupied with fear that I missed all the open doors of opportunity. Now that that balance is there, you can actually see all of the synchronicities lining up, um, even better than you what could have imagined, because your higher self can actually see from a higher vantage point than you. So that's kind of, I guess, my process and um, how I kind of now manifest and bring beautiful things into my experience. And practice this. And if you have any questions, or I'd love to hear about your results if you do, reach out to let me know. Leave a comment. If this any of this material helped you in any way, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'm gonna sign off and get to work on this piece so I can show you what I'm gonna do with the rest of this. So happy manifesting, happy creating. You are the creator of your experience. Um, and I believe in my heart that we as a collective can create a world that is more suitable for us, that will bring us more joy and excitement when we choose to do so, when we choose to let go of separation and division against one another. I feel that we have an opportunity to create a world that is actually harmonious for us, that allows us to step into more of a creative space in exploring our passions and acting upon those to the best of our ability, no matter what situation we're facing. I found that life happens for me and not to me. And when I seen how the what I guess most would say chaos in my life, how it was actually a catalyst to something great. It was, when I seen the beauty of the design of it, and how it was there to help me to step up to the next level, letting go of fear and worry and doubt in my mind, because it's no longer occupied with that frequency, and I'm able to feel lighter, much, much lighter. And if I could do anything, I would love to just, if I could only for 3 minutes, help you to feel that peace and love and joy in your heart that comes with that balance, and the healing that comes with it. I To see and show you that these qualities are within yourself to do just that, to create your experience, to heal within yourself. You are the healer, not anybody else outside of yourself. You are the one that can make the choice to choose to love yourself first and find joy and love in everything and everybody else around you. When we let go of division and we start to accept one another, um, with more love and gratitude towards one another, we could create something beautiful. So, if anyway, I'm signing off now. Everybody have just a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste, friends.